Hello everyone. Thank you for joining me for this month's episode of Pegasus. I am your host, Dr. Brittany Moore-Henderson. Mississippi State University College of Veterinary Medicine is committed to finding creative answers to real-world challenges through collaboration and innovation. We are home to numerous programs, studies, and projects that promote collaborative multidisciplinary teams, not only locally, but nationally and internationally. Veterinary medicine is a One Health profession. Our various innovative centers, such as Feed the Future Innovation Lab for fish, which aims to alleviate poverty and improve nutrition in vulnerable populations, and our Center for Environmental Health Sciences, which focuses on maintaining and improving the quality of environmental health in Mississippi. Mississippi State University College of Veterinary Medicine is working to improve the well-being of both people and animals. We train veterinary leaders that are actively engaged in changing the world for the better. My guest today is a recent alum of the CVM and is a great example of the veterinary leaders that our program produces. Before you meet our guest today, I thought it would be very fitting to share one of her recent accomplishments. Let's take a look.
The power of research is that we can change lives. We can make a difference in this world. I knew that by simultaneously pursuing my veterinary degree and my PhD, the veterinary side would give me the training that I need to assist in animal-specific research. And the research side would give me the knowledge I need to formulate a research question and then do research to pursue that question. And so I chose to go into toxicology to help protect the lives of people, animals, and the environment, a One Health approach. My research focuses on immunotoxicology. This is the way that toxicants affect the immune system. And to do this, I focus on pesticides. I study the ability of chlorpyrifos to disrupt the immune system. Chlorpyrifos was once one of the most widely used pesticides. It is now banned for use in residents due to concerns of neurotoxicity in children. However, it's still permitted for use for agricultural purposes. I hypothesized that chlorpyrifos would alter how the body responds to an immune insult via inhibition of the endocannabinoid system. I treated mice with chlorpyrifos followed by an immune insult. I identified carboxylesterase as one of the enzymes that's inhibited by chlorpyrifos in the mouse lung. Carboxylesterases are one of the endocannabinoid metabolizing enzymes. Thus, they also help metabolize lipid mediators involved in the immune system. However, they also play a second role, which is the metabolism of pesticides. My research suggests that this inhibition of carboxylesterases leans more towards a protective mechanism than the immune side, as I had originally hypothesized.
Her research is unique because she's looking at the role of an enzyme, which we traditionally thought of as just being a metabolism enzyme, and how it might play a role in inflammation. So we're really bridging that gap between biochemistry, immunology, and toxicology.
I love research, and I hope that the passion I've put into my work can inspire others to think about considering research as a career. We need more veterinarians to get into toxicology research in academia, industry, and government to help us further our knowledge on toxicology, develop pharmaceuticals for use, and to teach the next generation of toxicologists.
Dr. Szafran, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Brittany, for inviting me.
Yes,
I'm happy to be here.
Definitely. So first off, congratulations on your recent accomplishment. Before we get started on it, we're going to go back, just find out a little information, more information about you. So before you decided to come here to MSU CVM before veterinary school, what were you doing? How did you get here pretty much?
How did I get here? So I'm originally from West Virginia, and I decided early on that I wanted to pursue a career with animals. Although at first I actually did not want to be a veterinarian because I did not want to have to perform surgeries. But by the time I got into high school, I had let it sink in that, okay, I'm going to be a veterinarian. And before attending Mississippi State, I attended West Virginia University, where I double majored in animal nutritional sciences and biochemistry with a Japanese studies minor.
Oh, wow, Japanese minor. Do you still speak some Japanese?
That for fun.
Okay,
it's been like 8 years.
So with you, I guess looking at it, like how did you decide to attend Mississippi State? What was it about Mississippi State that, drew you to it?
Well, I will say that West Virginia does not have a veterinary school. So the state actually has contracts with 2 different vet schools, Mississippi State being one of them, where a certain number of students are selected each year from West Virginia. So that's what originally got Mississippi State on my radar. However, the main reasons that I chose to go to MSU were, one, because I got the vibe that the atmosphere was very friendly and that everyone was very welcoming, which was similar to the agricultural department at West Virginia University. I also liked the 2+2 curriculum, and I was accepted into the combined degree program.
Awesome. Like you said, yep, we do have contracts with the state of West Virginia. So we do have some students that come here. So I'm glad that was one way that they got Mississippi State on the map. And then, like you said, our welcoming environment drew you in. So I'm so excited that you came here. So what made you decide on a dual degree program, do the DVM PhD program?
So I discovered that dual degree programs existed when I was browsing various veterinary school websites during my freshman year of undergraduate. When I realized that I could pursue both a veterinary degree and a research degree, I knew that was for me and I never looked back. At that point, it was just figuring out what area of research I wanted to pursue. And I settled on toxicology because I thought back to some experiences I'd had in the various animal encounters. And I realized that the chemicals that we as humans use to enhance our lives can also harm them. And so that is kind of what got me set on thinking about toxicology.
Awesome. So you recently just completed your PhD. You actually completed your DVM in 2017, correct?
Correct.
And you just finished your PhD this past spring. So of course, one of the big accomplishments that you had that I saw or found that you were actually inducted into the Graduate School Hall of Fame. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So that's an amazing accomplishment, and I'm sure that you have other accomplishments. So for you, what would you say is one of your greatest accomplishments? A lot, I know.
I think finishing the combined degree program was actually the biggest accomplishment to me. One other award that I won was the Roger O. McClellan Award that was for veterinarians and toxicology research. That was through the Society of Toxicology. But really, it was completing the program. And one of the reasons that I applied for some of these awards and gave a lot of presentations was to work on my science communication skills. But also, it was a way for me to promote toxicology research and hopefully inspire others to consider it as a career choice.
Exactly, and that's good because, like you said, and you mentioned that we need more veterinarians within research altogether. So for you, I guess to get into a little bit about what your research actually is. So first of all, for our audience that are viewing, what is environmental toxicology?
Okay, so at the very basics, you can break down toxicology to the study of poisons. Environmental toxicologists study the adverse reactions of environmental exposure to toxicants such as chemicals on living organisms. It's a multidisciplinary approach that involves chemistry, biochemistry, biology, ecology, and many other disciplines.
Yes, a lot of science, pretty much. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
So for you,
we're getting into some computer modeling with toxicology too. I mean, I don't have experience in that, but I think it's kind of cool.
Got you. So for you, what are your next steps for your research? Because I'm sure, what was the end goal for your research?
So for my research, I am currently finishing up 2 more papers that were part of my dissertation, and hopefully we'll be submitting those for publication by the end of the year. I know the video covered my research fairly well, so that's a topic of my research. And I know the labs are continuing some of my work because research really leaves more questions than it does answers.
Exactly, just more and more questions, right? So for you, I guess what I would ask you is like for any prospective students that are looking for a veterinary school or just looking at, what can they do all with their degree? What words that would you provide them or give them as far as doing a dual degree program?
So to commit to a combined degree program is a 7+ year commitment. So if you think this is something you want to do, definitely try to get some research experience. Consider if both degrees together would help you reach your career goals. If you're not sure if it's exactly what you want to do, but you want to explore it as an option, you can always pursue the degrees separately. So you can do the DVM and then the PhD, or you can do the PhD and apply to vet school. At least at Mississippi State, if you're in the DVM program and you apply and are accepted into the PhD program separately, you'll still be able to pursue those somewhat simultaneously. Like you'll be able to use your electives or your free time in the DVM program to work on your PhD. The summer research experience is actually a great way to get your feet wet in research, and that's after the first year of your DVM program.
Awesome. I'm glad you mentioned that because next episode, that is what we're going to be talking about. So for final question for you, Dr. Szafran, where do you see yourself in about 5 to 10 years?
So my ultimate career goal is to protect the lives of people, animals, the environment, a One Health approach from the toxic effects of chemicals, especially man-made ones. And I am actually currently doing that with my career, and I hope that in 10 years I'll still be doing that.
Awesome. Well, thank you again for joining me, Dr. Szafran, and also congratulations on all your accomplishments because it has been awesome seeing and reading about all the research that you have done and all the awards that you have received as well. So again, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you. It's been an honor.
Awesome. So that actually concludes our show. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions about today's show, do not hesitate to contact me at brittany.henderson@msstate.edu. I look forward to hearing from you and seeing you next time here on Pegasus.